Okay, next question. This is coming from A. He says, I basically kind of summarized what he said. Coming back home and reverting to old pizza and porn habits. Okay, so he was living a certain lifestyle. I think he was traveling. And, he was just kind of he was out there. He was getting out of the house, experiencing life. And now that he's back home, he's basically going back to the pizza and porn habit. That doesn't sound that bad, just pizza and porn all day, okay. I mean, it's not the best thing, but it's definitely not the worst thing. After traveling and using iPace, this system I teach, I realized what is possible. Okay, so he was meeting women, he was enjoying himself, but I'm getting complacent and not stepping out of my comfort zone. Okay, so I'm assuming the question is how to not get complacent and keep stepping out of your comfort zone, because that's where the magic happens. So you just got to get out of the house. I don't want to make it too complicated. A lot of self-help stuff is like really unhelpful, because it gets you thinking about what to do instead of just do it. Like a lot of times with, like, if you're reading a self-help book, the best thing you can do is put the fucking book down and get out of the house. Just get out of the house. Easy way to do this is to create some sort of incentive or make it necessary to get out of the house. Like for me, I used to be a big gym rat, go to the gym a lot, and then I got kind of sick of that, but I didn't really work out. I didn't replace it with anything, and that's why I gained a bunch of weight. So what I started doing was what I call the playground workout. So everything I do now is just body weight stuff, and so my workout is outside. And if it's cold out, you put on a sweatshirt, whatever. So that's one way to do it. Setting up your fitness regimen gets you out of the house. You can also, of course, join a gym. The problem with the gym is a lot of times you stop going, especially if you have to drive there. We all know that unless you're really committed, like you're gonna stop going to the gym. Another thing you can do is think about maybe some of your hobbies or some of your interests. See if you can do some of them outside. For example, read or draw. Another thing you can do is commit to stuff. So I'm big on volunteering. I tell everyone to volunteer. The best inner game self-esteem boosting thing you can do is to volunteer with people who need you, whether it's seniors, kids, homeless, anyone in need, even animals. You can volunteer with animals. You don't even have to deal with people, if you really don't want to. You can clean up parks or something. There's always something that, people always need help. So I would say volunteer. And when you volunteer, you sign up and you have to show up. Sign up, show up. That's a good motto. That'll get you out of the house. So set up situations where you have to get out of the house. Once you get out of the house, the stuff you learned, the iPace stuff that you learned, your new way of operating with people, it'll come out. You'll just naturally start doing it, and your social interactions will become an opportunity rather than something you have to do. It'll become more of an opportunity than a chore. You'll look forward to meeting people, meeting women, instead of thinking, my life sucked for a long time, but in order to change it, I have to do all this work. And you're gonna have a hard time getting out of the house if that's your mindset. So I say, don't worry about getting out and approaching women and getting your approaches. And I never did a ton of approaches. I really thought about the interactions that I did have. I'd keep a journal. Of course, me being, how I am, I systemized everything and really analyzed it and really thought about how to improve and how to overcome my challenges. So my progress was pretty quick. I mean, I didn't have to go out and do like 100 approaches a week or anything like those pickup artist guys do. And so what I would do is I would just get, and so, you know, you don't really need to do that. You don't need to go out and like approach 100 women. In fact, if you do that and you have like bad habits, or you're doing the wrong stuff, you'll just ingrain that more into your behavior, and you don't want to do that. So the easiest way to do this is set up situations where you have to set up situations where you have to get out of the house. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, going to the bar, or going to the club, going to some campus and doing your day game skills or anything like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be, you know, extracurricular activities. You know, take your book to the coffee shop, volunteer, sign up to volunteer, join a co-ed sports league. These are easy things anyone can do. Get on Meetup, see if there's, you know, free yoga at the park. I mean, sign up, show up. Okay, let's just keep it that simple. And then, you know, over time, as you interact with people, you'll be practicing eye pace. And I'll get into eye pace in another video. This video is already getting really long.